To have a really spectacular home, you have to have great details. The cabinets, the molding, the flooring, the tiles, it all has to work together. Join me today on For Your Home as we put the finishing details on my dream home. My mother used to tell me that the devil is in the details. Well, if any of the craziness that's going on in this house this week is any indication, I'm going to say that that devil is in full swing. You know, I have a deadline to move into this house, and everybody is bound and determined to help me make that deadline date. Now, when I bought this house, you know, it's 29 years old, it's close to the city, I loved everything about it, except the way it looked. So I knew it was going to take a lot of work, and I just didn't realize though how long that work would take to get completed. I am anxious to move in. Now this is Janine Devaney, and she is the designer on this project, and I think I can say that she's the one who got me into this mess.
Oh no, Vicki, you're the ones that picked me. But,
oh, that's true, yeah. If you have to pick a designer, this is the one to pick. What do you think now that they're this close?
This is just an absolutely fabulous house. We have totally space planned this entire house to live for today's lifestyle. Everything is a much more open plan. You're going to be having the wonderful parties in this kitchen. The lines of sight are fabulous. The ceiling heights, the details.
Oh, you know, as I see everything new come in every day, there's something being added and being included that I'm really happy with. And you talked about the sight line. I think that it's really hard. Now, this is one of the reasons you want to work with a designer or an architect that can really visualize what it's all going to look like. Because even as many house projects as I've done, I would never have been able to do this. I can stand in this kitchen and I can look out that window and I can see the fountain and the herb garden in the front. I can look out this way and see into the family room or out onto the terrace or the breakfast room. It's just wide open. As I move to those different rooms, I have great views everywhere.
Well, this is a house that is really not that large of a house, and yet it lives large because you have not as many inventory of rooms, but you have nice large spaces where people can move about. This is a house really that's going to work for really any age group that would want to move in, whether it's a young couple, empty nesters, or everybody in between. We put in a permanent stair to the attic, which you might choose to make it a workout room, but you know, additional bedrooms and bathrooms could be made upstairs for children.
And you know, I'm hoping, you know how I love to give parties. I've got a big party coming up that Janine is going to help me with. We have a big charity event that's going to be going on. I think that this kitchen is going to function beautifully with that charity event.
Absolutely. The best parties are in the kitchen.
Yeah, even if it's just you and me. So a week from now, you and I got a date right here, glass of wine. I'll make us a nice salad and we'll celebrate the house.
Absolutely.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you so much.
I love how it's looking. I'm going to check back with you. I'm going to go see if I can't get the guys moving.
Call me if there's anything.
You got it. Now, you might not think of plumbing as the beauty of the home, but without it, well, you know how that story goes. This is Chris, and he's our FYH plumber, and he has taken water to places it never was before in this house. Right, Chris?
That's right, Vicki. Good to see you.
Yeah, you guys have really been doing some plumbing wonders. Walk us through it.
Well, this project's been very interesting. We started basically...
I like when you say very interesting.
Well, all jobs are very interesting, but this one here, we basically reworked all the plumbing throughout the house. A lot of stuff was reversed, room to room, flipping it so it was more of a flowing kitchen and laundry room. But basically, we had to just repipe everything.
Well, originally, before, the kitchen was at the front of the house.
That's
it started
correct.
About right where this wall is here. And the laundry room was kind of halfway down where the island is.
That's correct.
And the powder room is over there where Randy's standing, my cameraman.
Right.
And you had to move it all around.
Everything's been switched around.
Okay, walk us through some of the features that you put into this house for me.
We've stayed basically with the same fixtures throughout the house, the faucets throughout the house. They're high efficiency, saving water. A lot of the faucets are very green And we also went with a tankless water heater because of reworking the plumbing throughout the house and adding some of the features that you have added. It needed a more demand for more hot water. So we went with a tankless, endless supply of hot water.
And you know, this is really the time to make those kind of changes. If you want to live a more green life, an energy efficient life, we had the great opportunity because we did change everything around.
That is correct.
Now, what is the benefit of, you stay with the same manufacturer for all the plumbing fixtures throughout the house. What kind of advantage did that provide for you and your guys?
One, it's a lot easier for installation. It's also easier to deal with one manufacturer. If there's ever an issue or a problem, you can just contact them and they help you out. And then it's also in design, from one bathroom to another to the kitchen. It's easy
It
to...
all just flows together really well.
That is correct. That is
and that's
correct.
something to keep in mind as opposed to hopping all around the different manufacturers and styles.
And styles, right.
Now, the tankless hot water heater that you've put in, tell me how that's going to work and tell me a little bit about it.
Well, basically, it's lately a lot of homeowners are going with tankless because of the energy efficient, the rebates you can get, and also endless hot water. A lot of the fixtures today, a lot of people like to put in more than one shower head, body sprays, or a handheld. And what you had here was 2 low-boy electric water heaters, which over a period of time of running the shower will drain them pretty quickly, and there wasn't rapid recovery on an electric water heater. So going with a tankless, it's more efficient, makes the hot water when you need it, it's endless, it's going to be able to keep up with your demands.
Okay, now you also mounted that to the outside of the house as opposed to being in the crawl space or an area or upstairs where you might have a leak in the hot water heater could ruin all of our beautiful work.
That's correct. And a lot of times what we do is if the water heaters are in the attic or in a crawl space, we look for another location where we can install it. Tankless could be mounted inside or outside, and you have the benefit of mounting it on the exterior of your home. You gain some more square footage in your home.
Okay, I love that feature about it as well. Now, you also put into the shower, we have a new steam shower that went in there, which I'm just dying to try out. Tell me about that hose system and how difficult that is to install.
It's not that bad at all. Steam showers are becoming more and more popular. The units are becoming smaller and smaller, which is more easier to install. But they, make steam.
Because I saw the little unit, it was about like this big when one of your guys was putting it in, and I said, that's going to generate all the steam, and he said, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They've come down in size, and basically you find out what the square footage is of your shower, and that dictates what size unit you need to go with. And the little steam generators work off of power. They just take a small water supply, and then you set the controls inside the shower, and the rest is enjoyment.
Now, let me ask you this. Can you retrofit an existing shower with a steam unit?
Yes, it's a little more difficult, but yes, it can be done.
Okay. I know that we had to get some really tall shower doors to go into that space because you have to seal it all off when you have a steam shower.
That's correct. You don't want all your steam to escape the shower, so you have to have a nice enclosure sealed up with the tile and with the glass doors.
Well, as usual, you guys did a great job, and it looks like I'm going to get plenty of hot water and plenty of hot steam in the shower.
Excellent.
So
Thank you,
should work
Vicki.
out great. Thanks.
Thanks.
Jennifer, you've brought a great sample for me here today for the powder room. What do you got in mind?
Well, we had talked months ago about possibly
I
bringing...
like how you say months ago. The project is lingering
It
for
does,
months, isn't
it does, and things
But they're making
change.
great progress. You
They
can hear that
are.
nail gun.
Things are coming along. But when I look at the space, now that it has walls and everything, this is looking a little flat. You've got a beautiful vessel sink that you're bringing in, and this will be behind it. And I think that
Everything's
the
so
walls...
smooth, yeah.
Yes, the walls need to have some contrast to all the smoothness.
Okay, so what are you thinking?
Well, some sort of a texture, and I'm thinking even a horizontal striping.
I like that. You did
Yeah.
that for me at the Susan G. Coleman
Yes.
show house. I love those in the little girl's powder room.
Yes, it was
Perfect.
beautiful. So that's the same sort of a thing, and it maybe even a two-tone wide stripe, and
Okay.
it would look like a nice updated grass cloth.
Okay, so this is too flat. This is a Venetian look. You're thinking 2 colors of gray. And how heavy is that texture going to be that you're talking about?
Well, what I do is use this super high-tech tool, and
This looks like some plastic grass
It
that's
is.
glued on a trowel.
That's exactly what it is. I don't know what the technical name for it is, but that is exactly
So
right.
that's going to give us some texture. I can
That'll give
tell,
you texture, and I'll trowel this on, and then I will drag my handy-dandy tool across it, and it leaves a wonderful, gnarly little texture that
Okay.
really will show off the shimmer of the metallic plaster.
All right, so let's talk about color now. this color is too dark.
Yeah, I think it is too. So I would go
Even though it
several-
matches this, I just
Yeah.
think for the stripes, the room's so small.
It would be too much contrast. I think it would really stand out too much. We'll have it soft, almost a tone on tone, just a little somewhere between these two.
Okay.
And that way it'll pull everything together and still be soft.
Okay, well, make me up a sample board.
Okay.
So I can see the colors and the textures.
Yeah.
All right. And we'll get started, and hopefully this project won't linger months and months some more.
I don't think it will.
Summer, I'm really excited. These are all the elements that I picked out for the master bathroom in here and the master bedroom. This is the color that I'm doing the walls out there in. It's just, you know, such a pretty little blue
Light
color.
blue.
I like that. And here in the bathroom, though, I wanted to keep everything more white and clean like. So I chose this for the floor, and it has just a little bit of a touch of gray stripe through it. And this Carrara marble in the oval shapes, I love these, don't you? Instead of the usual circles.
Yes.
This is going to be on the floor of the shower, and it's going to be about a 5-inch band around the walls.
Okay.
And then the rest of the shower is going to be done in this oversized subway tile.
Okay.
The countertops over the plain white cabinets is the Carrara marble. So what do you think?
I think that, you know, like you were saying, I think that the gray would be beautiful. I think that this lends itself to be a little dark, and it's looking a little bit blue to me, which would not be good with
Yep.
the bedroom.
Right?
This, I'm liking the fact that it's so light, but it's kind of reading more of a putty look.
It
and I
does. It
think-
has too much brown in it,
I think we need to get just a little bit more gray without being too dark. And this is actually a little dark as well.
Yep.
So I think that we need to stay light and bright. I think that we need to have some kind of pearlescent or some kind of reflecting going on so that you get a lot of this light, you get use of all that coming in.
That's an awfully pretty finish. It's not the right color for what we need, but I like that finish.
Yeah, this has a really light pearlescent type of, it's almost like a pudding kind of material that you chow on. This is done in multi-layers, and you do get a lot of movement with
Yeah,
the
and you also, the
metallics.
sparkle makes it lighter in value as
bright,
well.
yeah.
How durable is this though? Because this looks awfully elegant.
It's very durable because you've got so many different dimensions and things going on that you're not gonna, first of all, it's not gonna come off the wall like wallpaper would in a bathroom.
Okay.
So that's a plus. Second of all, it is a paint product, so you could just paint over it, but more importantly, it's very durable because the products are all latex
And designed for that purpose.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's really beautiful. I'd like to be able to, because this is a little sparkly and I like that to dress
Yeah.
it up, that I'd love to be able to go with something with this kind of a finish, but more in the white and pearly gray kind of
Right.
color. So if you could make me up a sample board in those new ideas, you can take all of these pieces with you.
Great.
So that you can match it all up, and then we'll get back together and finalize it.
Sounds good.
I can't wait to see how it turns out. Mike, what'd you bring for me today?
I brought 3 samples for you for the stair runners.
Okay.
We talked about using different variations on black and white. I have a pinstripe
I like that. That's nice and simple.
and something a little more natural in the zebra print.
Yeah, you know, zebra, it's everywhere, and maybe because it's everywhere, I don't want it here. How about
Understandable.
that? Uh-huh.
And the other's more of a geometric and a chevron pattern.
You know, I love geometrics, and since the chevron look is just starting to come in, I think it'll hold itself a lot longer.
Great.
But let's look at it on the stairs,
Sure.
okay? All right, so this one would be there. This looks like it'd be tough for you to do on these curves of these steps, but I trust you.
Nah, that takes a little work, but
But what the heck, right?
that's right. As long as
I'm
the eyes
worth
hold
it,
out,
right?
we're good.
Okay, all right. I like the chevron as I see them going up the stairs. I like that, but I do want to change the colors.
Fine.
Okay.
Easiest
All
thing
right.
to change.
I have my paint chips here, and this is the white that we're using on all of the woodwork throughout the house. And it's also the color of the kitchen cabinets. It's
Fine.
called pure white. And so I'd like for that to be used in the background of the
I'll hold
chevron. Okay. And then instead of the black, let's go with this gray.
Mutes it right down.
Yeah, and then it's just a soft statement. It doesn't scream out at you when you come around the corner. And let's just go with 2 colors. I still want to do the pinstripe double on the sides,
Fine.
but because I think that holds in the design and lets it not go into infinity. but let's do it out of just 2 colors.
Yeah, that'll look great against the darker stained floors.
Okay, I think it'll work out really well. Now, we're gonna have the stairs all stained, and then you're gonna come in and do your job.
Right.
And then you want me to have Dan come back in and polyurethane over all of it when you're done?
Probably would be best, then you would get a seamless line of polyurethane.
Okay, I'll let him know that so he can put that on his schedule.
That's
All
great.
right? Thank you, hon. I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Me too.
If you're a regular viewer of the For Your Home show, then I know you've heard me say I would never put Carrara marble in a kitchen again. And what am I doing? I'm standing in more Carrara marble than you have ever seen. That's because I love it, and I'm willing to put up with its limitations, I guess. You know, the problem with Carrara marble is that it's a really soft finish, and so it etches badly. What I mean by etches, anything that has acid in it, like lemons, limes, tomatoes, white wine, if you spill that on the counter or it squirts out on the counter, it's going to leave a frosted dot behind. And after a while, though, you learn to love it, just like those old tables in Italy. So I'll put up with that. Now, I chose a lot of different counters in this house, and I chose them for how durable they are. For example, in the pantry, I wanted the pantry to still tie in with the kitchen, so I wanted the look of Carrara, but I went with a quartz product. Quartz is an all-natural countertop material, but it's much more durable than the marble. It looks like it, but it's much more durable. In the laundry room, I chose a quartz product again because I knew doing laundry and craft projects in there, but this particular quartz countertop has a little bit of a fleck of aqua in it, and I liked that to go with the cabinets. Now, in the powder room, I went back to Carrara marble, but this time I chose what they call honed finish. That's a frosted finish. And I chose that finish so it ties in with the beautiful vessel bowl that I'm using in there. Wanted them to match. How do you take care of all these different types of countertops in your house? Well, all of them are a little bit different. For granite, you need to reseal it. Now, you want to reseal that granite about every 6 months. You can just buy a great sealer from your commercial home improvement store and put it on. For marble, it's a little bit different. First of all, you need a special sealer that is designed just for marble. And here's the clue that tells you need to reseal it. Look around your faucets. If you see like a little gray band around those areas, that's really telling you that the sealer has broken down and water is starting to soak in. Then you know, boy, it's time to get that sealer onto your countertops again. For those quartz countertops, the beauty of those, you don't have to ever reseal them. So when you're planning your next countertop project, ask yourself, what's my lifestyle like? How busy a housekeeper am I? And then that will help you make your decision whether you're ready to baby your Carrara or go for quartz and never have to worry about it again. Hey, Melinda.
Hey, Vicki.
Welcome to my new creativity center. What do you think?
I think it's awesome. I'm so excited to be here because you've been talking about it, and I haven't been able to see
this
it
is your
until
first
today.
time.
This is my first
well,
time.
it's not quite finished yet. They still got some molding to do and everything else, but it's going to be fantastic. Show me what you're thinking about for the table that's going to go right in the center of the room.
Well, you know, all I had to go on was that you wanted it orange and turquoise, and those are two of my favorite colors because they're so cool, they're so funky, and they're so on trend, and when you combine them together, I think we could really do something great. And I know that your table is a wood table, and one of the things I like to do is like a big stencil on a wood table, so some of the wood will show through. And I like using chalk paint. It's my favorite product to use, and it's from your friend Annie Sloan.
Yeah. How is Annie? Have you seen her?
Annie's great. I saw her a few months ago, and actually I'm going to see her again in New Orleans. We have a big stockus meeting next month, so I'm going to see her in New Orleans. Very
Annie
excited
Sloan,
about
for
that.
those of you who haven't seen her on For Your Home before, she's a very dear friend of mine, and she is probably next to Melinda and Jennifer and Summer and everybody else. She's one of the best faux finishers in the world, I think.
Yeah,
and
she's
lots
a
of fun.
marvel.
She did my dining room chairs, if you guys remember that show. So you're going to be using chalk paint on all of these?
Yes, Annie Sloan chalk paint. It's actually something that I use almost exclusively now. I so love the product, and it adheres to almost any surface, so it makes things really easy
That's
to
what
paint.
I love about it. You don't have to sand or anything. So
Right, and it's super quick to paint. It dries in about 45 minutes, and it's very versatile and flexible. And you can intermix colors. And actually, when you sent me the pictures of your orange and your turquoise, I actually custom mixed a couple colors for you. So I hope they're good.
All right, so this is one of the deals because I told you I wanted to look old and beat up.
Yes, this is a 2-color texture finish. I did turquoise underneath because that's your secondary color. And then I did the orange on the top and I distressed it back. I did the first layer very textural and then I distressed it back so you could kind of see the pop
where
of
this makes it
turquoise.
all pop up here?
Yeah, and it makes it look kind of old.
Yeah.
It's more, the cool thing about it is it's more traditional rustic look, but it's funky colors.
Yeah, I like that.
So I really like that. This one is a combination of super funky. Yes, a combination of many products. I started with a chalk paint base coat in a turquoise. I used a gold leaf size over the entire thing, and then I did a transfer foil, and it comes in a big roll, and it's all this cool pattern. And then I kind of dry brushed a little of the orange on that, and then I used a big stencil and distressed it back a little bit, and then I did a really high quality varnish on top of it.
Oh my
And
gosh,
I think
what
that
was
would
like
be
8 layers of paint?
No, you know what? All of them are pretty quick, and Jennifer can attest to that. All of them are pretty quick layers, and we can finish the table in probably 4 hours.
Wow.
It really is an amazing product. But I have to say...
Where were you when everybody was taking so long in painting this darn place? You know, you could have had it done in like half the time.
No.
Oh, I love
I have to
this.
say this might be my favorite. And I did scale it down knowing that I'm using this small board and the tabletop is actually large. So if you did choose this...
You'd go bigger.
We'd go bigger. We'd use a bigger stencil. But I started with the turquoise underneath, and then I moved the stencil and I dropped it so that just the hint of turquoise shows, and then I did a border of the orange, and I wanted some of the wood to show through. And once again,
like
what's so
that.
great about this product, it will stick to almost any surface. So if you have an old wood table that's scratched or messed up, you can do a sort of a stencil-y kind of thing with the chalk paint, have the good parts of the wood showing through, and then just have a really cool,
if you had
funky
a dining
finish.
room set, well, like my dining room table's got a big scratch in it. That's the reason we're going to recycle it to this space. But if your chairs were still the wood color, you could leave them that color if you wanted and just do your tabletop this way
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
hide all of it. That's a great idea. It's so
All right.
much fun to have friends who are so talented. I
Oh,
can't
thank
wait.
you. Thanks for letting me do this. I'm very excited.
Me too. This is one of my favorite details about this house. It's the master closet. Come on in, take a look around. This is what I call organized living. There is plenty of space in here for me to hang all of my clothes and store all of the things that I like to have handy. Let me show you some of the features of this closet. Now, first of all, you know how much I love jewelry. Well, I have 2 jewelry drawers like this built right into the closet. So it makes it so perfect for organizing and accessorizing as you go. It also has these great storage boxes right along here that are dividing my 2 hanging spaces. Now you might say, Vicki, that looks like a short space to hang. The great thing about this system is it's totally adjustable. So I actually measured how long my slacks and my skirts were, and they hang perfectly here. If I decide I want to start wearing longer skirts, I could simply adjust these at any time without even using any tools. Now these great storage boxes though are perfect for me to put like scarves or purses, any of those items in there. And for my shoes, now I got lots of shoes, I decided to go with shelving so I can put shoes on this side all the way across the back and down this side if I want as well. More hanging space on this side, more small drawers so I can put things like evening bags and those types of things in the drawers. Now, let me show you some of the other great accessories that are in here. This is one of my favorite. This is a Valet Bar. So when you're picking out that perfect outfit, you can hang all the things that you want to wear the next day right on this hook. Or if you're packing for a trip, when you don't need it, you can slide it right back out of your way. I always like to hang my tablecloths. That way they don't get wrinkled and they're ready at any given moment for a party. So I put a rod in that closet and nice shelves close together so I can slide placemats and other folded linens right into that closet. So when you're working with a system that you can change and move around like you want to, depending upon your storage needs, you're going to always have great organized living. Now you might think that you have to settle for a boring old thermostat, but not at my house because I got Tommy Reeves from Linux. Hey Tommy, that looks like my iPad. What's going on with that thermostat?
It's a wonderful stat. It's the Linux iComfort Wi-Fi enabled thermostat.
Whew.
It allows you to control your temperature in your house from anywhere in the world, or even if you're just in bed and you don't want to get up to go change the thermostat, you can get your smartphone or your iPad and actually change the temperature, punch it in for you. So.
That's a pretty cool idea. You know, we're doing a lot of electronics in this house, and they all make my life easier because I travel so much. So the fact that I can go right to my iPhone or my iPad and make those changes if I forgot to turn down the heat before I went out of town is a great money saver.
That's correct. And another feature is that'll help you save money as well. As your installing dealer, you can allow them access to make sure they can troubleshoot what's wrong with the system from somewhere else before they even get to your house. They'll know what the problem is.
So I wouldn't even have to pay a service call and take all that time to figure it out.
They wouldn't have to go back and forth so much. They could just come straight here and they could identify the problem before they even got to your home.
Well, I don't expect to have any problems with these great
No.
units up here, right?
No, but it is
it's a good
benefit.
thing. It is a great thing. Well, I appreciate it. I like anything that will save me time and, of course, save me energy is a good thing. So I'm real excited about it. You're going to give me a lesson on how to work it, I hope, right?
Yes, I will.
Okay. This has been such a crazy experience, and it's been an experience that's taught me a lot. I hope you've learned some things that you can use around your home. Now join me next time right here on For Your Home. You know you want to see how this all turns out. Do you want to know more about the projects today or our guests? Visit us on the web. You're going to find great behind-the-scenes shots, streaming video, project ideas. We even have an e-newsletter with tips and ideas. It's foryourhome.com.